everyone. How are we all? Good morning after eve on this lovely Monday. I can't believe it's Monday again. It comes around so fast, and I'm back doing this again. I can't believe it. Time is moving too quickly. But I'm very happy to be here. Who have we got? We've got Sybil. Hello, Sybil. And hello, Ruth. And hello, Peggy. And Sam's here as well. Hello, Sam. I'm hoping you can all hear me. Brill, thank you so much. You preempted me. -7. Wow, that's pretty cold. And you got some snow, you said. Just terrible, but happy Hanukkah to those who celebrate. Yeah, I know. Um, right, who else is here? Clark's here, and Bergdis is here. Good noon. I love how everybody says hi. I love how everybody says hi. All right. What have we got? We've got the wildlife puzzle. And you know, I thought we would. Hello, Bluesy Sue. How you doing? I thought we would do something a wee bit fun today. Um, well, it's always fun, if I do say so myself. I thought we'd do something a wee bit different. So I've got the puzzle out in front of me. I've done a bit of organising, and I will go through all of that. But what I've also got out is just a few of the sheets of my big wildlife puzzle here. That few. Because I thought it would be really cool to compare the sizes of some of the animals on this puzzle as compared to some of the animals on the giant one. I mean, you can see here, massive elephants. So I just pulled out a few because obviously this 3,000 piece puzzle only represents a certain amount of the larger puzzle. So, there's some sections of it that just aren't relevant to this puzzle. But there are some that are, and I've tried to pick out a few. So we'll have a look at those in a wee bit and just do some size comparisons, which I think is quite fun. I mean, this is part of the reason why I like to do the mini-me's. Um, right, who else has joined? Suze. Hello to Suze, and hello to Karen. We've also we have snow from yesterday. Oh, it was snowing yesterday, but it's not snowed today. It's just settled. I wish we'd have a bit of snow. We've not had any snow yet, or at least not here in Stirling. It's like there's probably some on the hills, but hello, the anxious puzzler. How are you? And how excited to compare. Great idea. Thank you so much. Yes, I thought you might like to see. Well, honestly, I mean, I've been working on these puzzles, but I'm still taken aback by the sheer scale of the big one. And when I was taping up the final sections, and I got out my older sections to put them together and everything. Not put them together, but to put them all kind of with each other. Um, I saw the elephant one. These elephants, these two here. I was like, that's massive. And I'd just been working on this one, which, by comparison is just like, oh, it's tiny by comparison. And this is not a small puzzle. It's 3,000 pieces. So it's crazy. It's crazy the size difference. You love my jumper. Thank you, Marcia. Yeah, this is one I haven't got out yet this year. So I thought I would don this one. It's probably my loudest Christmas jumper. I love the colours in it, green and pink and red, and I've got some little sparkly bits as well. So thank you so much. The lion is so regal, sitting off to the side. I know. I've got the lion on one of my big sheets as well. I deliberately got that out. And I got out the orangutan. Peacemaker Deb, hi! Good morning. Lurking while working. This is exciting to see both puzzles. Well, since you're all sort of here, what I'll do is I'll show you the picture. And so there's the image. Now I can only show at most two boards when I'm live streaming, and there are two boards side by side at the bottom here. So I've gone for bottom left and bottom middle. Because that board is pretty well filled out, bottom right, and I have that off to the side because I've got a few. No, I don't have it off to the side. I've got it here just now because I've got a few pieces to fill in. And then I'm going to put it off to the side, and I'll be working on those two. But I've got sheets of the big puzzle from other parts of this one, so which you can't see in front of me. So I thought I would bring the box into play to show you. So let's. I mean, these are in no particular order. Let me pull a few out, juggling a bit here with my pieces and stuff. So these elephants here, this big one and this little one, I have here. So, and I mean, I haven't got the bits out for the top of its head. There's a little bit more of the top of its head. So that and that is the same as that. Look at that. It's like 8 times the size. Something like that. I don't know. I suppose 10 times the size because it's like 33,000 pieces. So we have like 10x up the way, haven't we? Just look at the difference. And I mean, I didn't want to get too many sheets out, but there are some more of the top. Look at the size difference. It's crazy. And then there's a couple of the look. There's the hippo. A couple of the hippos at the side. So let's move that over there. So that's the one with its mouth open. And this one here, actually, I've got a few to put in here. So let me put those in. Because I found a few pieces of this one with its mouth wide open. Whoops. Hang on. Right. So there's the hippo with its mouth open there. And then here is the big hippo with its mouth open. It's so it's crazy. It's crazy the scale difference. I'm gonna put those in. I've got these loose pieces because I was ready to put them in. I might as well just shove them in now while I'm doing this. There we go. Mm, these out because I thought they went down here somewhere, but I actually don't know where they go. Um, does that go there? No. I thought it maybe went with one of the elephants, but at the moment I can't quite see where it goes. But that's fine. That's fine. Actually, I think I know where those two pieces are. Give me a second. I'm multitasking here. Can you tell? Um, I was wondering where these went. These two on my leftovers board. They go in there. So that's that hippo a wee bit more formed. And that's the top of it there. So you can see a bit better now. There. That's insane. Insane. So that's the elephants. And then there's the hippo that is now then actually, I think that hippo. I'll move this to the side now then. I'm gonna put that on the leftovers board because I don't know where it goes. I should make sure I don't have any stuck to the bottom. And there is the back end of this hippo here. Tiny little hippo there. And there's the hippo on the big puzzle. And those are just background. I mean, that's this bit. This bit with the giraffes and the zebra is these. They're massive. So that's them. And then what else do we have? Oh, I thought I'd show you the lions. Right, so we've got the lions there. We've also got the lions on the board, happily, here. So here's the lions on the big puzzle. Well, the top bit of them anyway. There's some underneath, but that's all the faces. Look at the gorilla as well. Gorilla's tiny on this puzzle. It just makes this puzzle feel really small, I have to say. It's kind of crazy. So there's the lions. I just love looking at this. I can't get enough of this wildlife puzzle. I really look. It's so stunning. Like it really is. So that's that lemur there is that little lemur there in the tree. And I mean the box image is smaller. I do have that lemur, but it's not very well formed. It's made up of about 10 pieces on this puzzle. And that's it on the big puzzle. So that's the lemur. And then we've got there that where is it? That big toucan. I think it's that one. No, it's not. Wait, where is it? Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, I think I've pulled the wrong one out. I thought that was that bird, but it's not. It's not. I think that's from section 10. So, okay, that's the wrong one. Mm. Oh, there. So those zebra and that rhino in the background are here. There's that rhino, and it's so tiny in this puzzle. And I mean it's background on this puzzle, but you can definitely see it. And there's a little cluster of zebra in front of it. So that's that. And then pulled out. I've got to pull out the orangutan, haven't I? So the big lovely orangutan in the middle. Look at that. It's one of my favourite bits of this puzzle. Swinging on a big vine. That is this guy. And he goes across two taped panels, so I got two out. How cute is he? Well, it'd be a she, maybe. Mum's clinging on. Sorry, baby's clinging on to mum. Holy smokes, I know, it's crazy. Does anyone ever forget to eat when puzzling? I was puzzling all day yesterday and completely forgot to eat. I got to the end of the day and realised I hadn't eaten anything since a small breakfast. Yes, sometimes I do, Clark. You know, if I have a full day's puzzling, sometimes I do. Oh, wowza. Good morning, after Eve, Vicky and chat. Looking from work this Monday morning. Happy puzzling, everyone. Oh, good morning, after Eve. How are you, SS? Sorry if I missed anyone. I'm sure you didn't. You're very good at this. You're like my meter and greeter. I love your new loophole for not puzzling off camera, puzzling without actually putting them in. I don't know what you mean. Well, it's part of the organise. Sometimes I do off camera sorting, and then while I'm sorting, I find pieces that belong to other boards. But the thing is, I knew I wasn't really going to be working much on that board. So I thought, well, I could just put them in. But then I was like, well, they probably want to see me put them in. So then I kind of just get them ready to go in. So yeah, it is a wee bit. Not so much a wee sibling, more of a microscopic sibling, lol. I know. I know. I mean, I call them mini-me's. If you look at it like from a perspective point of view, then it really is a mini-me of a 33,000 piece puzzle. I mean, let's not forget, this is one of the giants, the big one. But it also seems crazy calling a 3,000 piece puzzle a mini-me. Now we're calling it a micro-me. I just thought this would be really fun, looking at the big compared to the small. So that's the orangutan. And then I got a couple out with birds on. Um, there's a lovely parrot. I love parrots. I really do love parrots. I enjoyed doing the parrots in the big puzzle. So that parrot there is. Well, let me see if I can find it. That one there. One there. There. So lovely. I love the parrots. I think they're one of the brightest animals to build, so I guess that makes sense. But I've always loved parrots. There's another parrot, nice big macaw there, and that is that one there, just right at the edge. So I think this must be in sections 7. That parrot. So that's that one. Then we've got a few more background giraffes and zebra there, which are just on the very edge of this puzzle here. is actually where it cuts off. Um, but you can see those on this puzzle. I got that one out because it just makes me laugh that it looks like they're so far away in the distance, and here they're just like big. And then down here you can just see the top of that rhino. There, there's the rhino. So that's that one, and then that's another orangutan. He's like eating an orange or something. Oh, somebody at the door. Give me a second. So sorry. It's the door when I live stream. I'm back. Sorry about that. That was the postman, just the general postman, just trying to get in the building. I have no idea if he's going to come here or not, or if he's going to ring the bell. But we'll soon find out. Anyway, this is the orangutan. It's like eating an orange or something, and that's that orangutan there. A little bitty one there. Look, that's him. And oh, that's the last one I had. That's the last one I had out to show you. So what do you think? Kind of crazy, isn't it? It's kind of crazy. So I'm just gonna just stack these up a bit more orderly now because I don't. I'm afraid if they don't sort of sit flush with each other, I'm afraid a piece might come off the edge. I mean the tape's pretty good, but still, you never know. You never know. All right, so now I've shifted that out of the way. Um, we need a bigger microscope for that one. Yes. The 500 pieces random cut, by the way. Oh, the little African mural one. Is that? Did you? Sorry, that was the post coming through the letterbox. But he hasn't rung the bell, so no parcels, I don't think. Sorry, no puzzle haul today, unless another courier comes. You never know. You never know. We'll see. So, is that a sun's out? Did you say, Clark? The little one, because they do random cut, don't they? 500 versus 33k would be amazing. Yeah, I know. I know. I should try it. Hello all. I'm watching from bed. Let's say good night as well as I'm likely to drift off soon. I'll have to watch it back later. Oh, okay. So we'll say hello and good night, and we'll hope you're here for as long as you can be, Claire. Think there's more puzzles? No, I don't think so. Not today. Not from the postie, anyway. But who knows? Who knows what can happen? Sending you healing hugs through the internet, or um, are you? Oh, are you not feeling well, Claire? Or are you just drifting off because it's nighttime? Send puzzle hall vibes. Yes. Uh, puzzle hall. I'll have to go and I'll have to go and nab the postman. Where's my puzzles? He'll be like, "What? I don't know what you're talking about." what I see is lots of fur. I think it looks crazy difficult. No, the lions weren't that easy actually. The lions weren't that easy. Um, but they weren't too bad either. They were so the big sections like that, where it was definite pieces that I definitely knew where they went. They were a joy to build because there was no two ways about it. I knew those pieces belonged to lions. So I knew I was going to get a good chunk of the puzzle together, and it took time. Um, but eventually you kind of get into a flow, and yeah, no, I enjoyed building the lions. It was good. Keep believing maybe some puzzle company sent Vicky a surprise haul. Well, I do. That happens occasionally. Occasionally, it's always nice when it does. You're welcome. Aw, I'm glad. I'm glad you enjoyed seeing that. This was a wee snapshot. Just a wee, just to give you a wee taste for when the big one comes out to play. Still haven't heard any update on the pieces yet. I mean, outside of the fact that they're gonna send them, I've not heard any updates. So you just have to be patient. Yes, I have the Suns Out 500 piece, and it's random cut. Ah, right. Fine. It's just late. I'm very tired, but I'll take healing hooks. Well, I'll send them too then. My cat's snoring. Kiddin has the 33.6k for €188. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for that puzzle. Hopefully they send it in a better state than I got mine in. See that wooden box though, it's so awkward. So, allow me to explain what you see in front of you here, which looks like a mess, but there is order, I promise. So, as I said, the bottom right hexagon that I was working on last week, you saw it briefly earlier. There's still some water bits to fill in, and I can just grab it. It's there under my iPad, so I can just grab it if I need to. But what I planned to do was kind of move across to the middle and the bottom left because there's more water. There's quite a lot of water in this, and I'd already started the water pile, which was just a big jumble. So what I thought I would do was, I'm pretty sure I said I was going to do this. I can't remember, but anyway. Oh, there's a piece I found earlier. Pop that in. It's just you just see the nose of that little deer. What I did was I went through the water pieces again, which are here in this box, and I pulled out as many pieces where the water is quite still and calm as I could find. Because there's waterfalls, so there's a lot of splashy pieces, a lot of kind of moving water kind of pieces. They're quite white, they're brighter blues. Some splashy pieces I did get out. I'm not sure why I didn't pull those out. That's weird. Um, because I recognise them as being down at the bottom here, where there's like a little deer splashing through the water, or I recognised it as being at the base of like maybe one of the elephants. I think they belong near the elephants actually, so I'll put those at the top. Um, that I think might belong somewhere around here. That looks like this. Maybe this animal's on here. Oh, there. I think it's there. So, like, if there's a splashy piece where there's an animal on it, or a bit of an animal on it that I've already built, like this little cat here, or any of these, then I've pulled those out because I can try and find a way to fit them in. But for the most part, I'm dealing with the kind of the still water areas. So this set of pieces here is like some of them are blue, some of them are more green, but they tend to have lily pads in it or rocks or something. There'll be something at the bottom here, or they'll be on the other board. These are like darker blue pieces, which there's an area that goes next to the lions, and there's an area that goes around about here above this deer here, where there's a whole bunch of flamingos, which I also have handy. These pieces, they look quite still, but they're actually, I think, waterfall. There's a background waterfall that's less Um, less rushy than this area. So there's a waterfall here at the back, and it's just kind of like sort of thin. There's not it's not all rushing like this bit, and there's birds flying in front of it. And so I think I've pulled quite a few of those out, thinking they were maybe this area or this area. And I've put them back there. And mostly I could tell that they were waterfall because there'd be a bird or something flying in front of it. So I've popped those up there. I don't know how many of those I'll get in. And then there's these which are, I think, belong down here. There's like a little pond. There's a few ducks. You've got a deer drinking. You've got one running away here. There's that big cat there. Um, sort of rocks and stuff. So those pieces I think mostly belong down there. So I'm going to try, if I can, and just put together some sections, whatever comes together easiest, fill in a few gaps here, and then that will be in tandem with um they're my leftovers. These, which are my flamingo pieces, and these I've kind of roughly separated. So they're flamingos that I think are largely flying or up in the sky somewhere. Those I'm not sure. Um, those are in the sky. Oh, maybe I didn't get around to sorting them. I don't know. And these are the ones that I think are all standing in the water now. What you've got, I'll put that on the bottom because I don't think I'm going to need that quite as much. I'm going to put that down there. I'm still coughing a bit. So I'll be coughing a bit sometimes. So here is, I mean, there's flamingos all over. There's one flying there. There's one up there flying. There's a couple in the background here. I've done those two there. There's a couple there I haven't really done much of, so I may find some of those in the bottom right. But mostly you've got a big cluster here, and I'm hoping to fill that out. So that's the plan. That's my idea, and that's what I've been organising for. And it doesn't look very organised, but it is. They're pieces I pulled out that, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't have pulled out. That maybe just aren't quite as still as I thought they were, and so I've just plunked them up there. That's another one, and that's it. I'm hoping that explains things relatively well, and I'll just get to building. I'm going to start with these because I feel like these are jumping out, and I'd love to get this attached. This is like right at the top of this deer at the bottom that's running away. Um, that goes there. That'll attach that wavy. Kind of annoying me a little bit. Mm. And I'm gonna just try and fill some of this in. There's that one. Uh, there's some flowers at the bottom here, white flowers. That goes in there. I really want to get this guy in. So I'm just not sure how much I can attach at this point. Uh, so I'm just gonna get going. I guess there you can see some flowers there, and then there. Now then, where do you go? Nope. All right. That goes there. The wavy there. That goes in there. All right. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah. That bit I had sitting on my leftovers board. I actually thought for a little while that that might be a bit of a flamingo, and then it turned out it wasn't. And then it just sat there, and I was like, what does it belong to? And then I realised it belongs to the back of this. So I was very chuffed to be able to get that. And that now means, stick that in there, that goes there. I can attach this just there. Can't attach his tail yet, but again, I'm hopeful that the water pieces filling in might help me attach it. So these pieces not overly watery, but you know, a wee bit. That oh, oh that goes there. It's the back of that one. Does that go there? No. There? No. Alright, I'm not sure where that one goes. Looks like it goes around here somewhere. Uh, oh, wait a minute. Hmm. That might go with the elephants. Ah, that goes there. And this has got to go around here somewhere. I just can't see where. There, it goes there. And then that bit goes there. So, that's a bit more formed now. Not sure about those or that. Did think that might go with the elephants, but I don't want to keep pulling that board in at this stage. I'm just going to grab my leftovers. It may well be that I've got a few more that could go in from the leftovers pile. See, that's a duck there. Looks like it would belong to this, but it's not. It's a duck. Not certain about that. Mm, where does that go? Pop that there. That might end up going with the elephants as well. Right. I don't think I've got much on here to fill in down here. So I'll pop that back over there. And then I will. Oh, now then, I found that piece earlier, and that so that attaches that. That's a bit more of that bird's wings there. And I've got some pieces here with flowers on, like orange flowers that go near to this cat. I don't know if I can attach it yet though, which is quite frustrating. Look, it's there. I'm trying to see if I can get some of these kind of rocks together, but a lot of those are going to be in the green pieces pile, so I might not necessarily have many of those. Oh, well, that goes there, so then what's that above its ear? Or does it go there? No, it doesn't go there. Ugh. Mm. Mm. Right, okay. Slowing down a bit now. So, Well, that goes on the other board, I think. Recognise that. I'm pretty certain that does too. There's other birds standing about, and sometimes they give you the clue as to, whereabouts it goes, which bit of water it's in. I'm looking to see if I can find some lily pads that go in here, but they're not really jumping out at me. A lot of these seem like background lily pads. Oh, that was there. And that attaches there. Yes. I don't know where that piece is. Ah, it goes there. I think that goes on the other board. That looks like wait, is it that piece? No, maybe not actually. Hmm. This looks like it goes in here. Yes. And so does that. Yes. I feel like I should have that piece, but I don't think I do. That piece, that's the one I was trying to point out. That looks like it's on a join. Um, but I don't know if it's the join. I think it might be the join between bottom right and bottom middle. Because I don't. This is the join between middle and bottom left. Oh no! Oh no, it's not. It's here. It goes here. Oh, okay. So I was wrong. Not to worry. All right, and then mostly we're looking at green here, so I think I might be running out of options down here. Ah, there's that bit. Got that one. All right, so now I'm gonna move over to these. These are like my dark blue areas, dark blue pieces. Now some of them may be up here, some of them may go here. In fact, this is kind of like quite a turquoise colour. I'm wondering if I might potentially be able to attach here. There. See, there's one. No, I've just tried that. That's quite a turquoisey colour. I think that goes next to this lion. Goes there, I think. Let's see if I can build this bit up. There we go. And there's a butterfly. Probably in my butterflies pile. Not to worry. That does that perhaps go there? That's a wee bit dark. Wait, no. Does that go there? Yay! Okay. Well, it sort of went to plan. I managed to get some together there. That goes higher up, those two. There's a butterfly in that piece. And there's kind of the beginnings of a waterfall starting here as well. I really wish I could get that attached. I don't know if I can though. I don't know about that one. There, and you can start to see some greenery as well there. Mm. I think I've got most of what I can get out of that bit. Nope, no. Okay. So I'm now wondering if it might be worth pulling out these flamingos and attempting to I just realised where that goes. It goes down here somewhere, I think. No. And attempting to fill this out using the flamingo pieces and then gap fill with the water. That's the hope, anyway. So these are my flamingos, the ones that I believe go down here at the bottom. And mostly you can tell because there's water in the background, but some are flying in front of waterfalls, so we'll just have to I'll just have to do my best and figure it out. I'm wondering whether or not to put these on a board. I think that might be easier than using this giant box. So let me grab a board and I shall be back. Here we go. A3 board. Hmm. Hello, Natalie. And hello, Sonia. Welcome. Hello at 5 a.m. Thanks for joining us so early. Is 5 a.m. morning or middle of the night, lol? I know. Good question. I'm helping a friend today, driving her to a doctor's appointment. Need a coffee and a Vicky Live to get going, lol. Oh, well, I'm glad to get you going. Definitely get the coffee down. I was like that this morning. I was feeling quite tired this morning. Full on day today. I've got my ballroom and Latin Christmas party tonight for my Monday night dance class. So I got up and I was just basically planning that all morning. And now it's this, and then I'll be dancing the night away. Kind of coffee do you drink in the morning? Thanks, Clark. I'm just about to finish the puzzle I'm working on, then to figure out which one to do next. Oh, that's the fun part. Just hot black coffee, nothing fancy. Any particular brand? Do you do pots or drip coffee or something else? My go-to is Maxwell House drip coffee, original roast medium. When I'm not drinking coffee that I have roasted slash ground myself. You're making me want a coffee. Huh? I wanted to finish my 1.5K Viking ship this weekend, but the flu made that impossible. Now I'm hoping to finish it before Christmas so I can start my 3K Sydney Harbour. Yeah. Oh, that sounds good. I like the sound of that one. It is your sister's hazelnut. I get it at a grocery outlet. Were you that? Were you that completed? Were you that completed life on Discord? What puzzle are you doing today? Hazelnut, fancy. Should have had a sip before typing. Four sisters, right? Okay, right. Never heard of either, so could have been one or the other as far as I was concerned. Well, that was me working on the Christmas card library 1000 Ravensburger. It was super easy. I needed easy after my last one. There's a bit more puzzle, all shapes were the same. Oh, yeah. We need a poll. Yep. Can never have too many polls going. Right, so I'm going to put all these flamingo pieces out on my board, all these watery ones, and I'm going to attempt to try and put them together. I have to say the flamingos being smaller, than on the big puzzle, the giant, it kind of makes it a bit trickier because they've got such thin legs and so there might only be a couple of pieces, and it's mostly water, and the bodies are fairly big, but you're talking sort of four pieces maybe at most in this puzzle, as opposed to 10 or 12 or something in the big one. So yeah, it's a whole different dynamic when you scale everything up. It really is. There we go. I think that belongs on the other board. One of the few flamingos where the water behind them is green in colour. Right, here we go. All my flamingos are out. So that, there we go. That's a little bit of that tail of the heater. I wonder if I've got that piece that I can use to attach, because it's mostly flamingo. It's very dark, but it is mostly flamingo. What about that? That looks like rock or something. Oh no, it's the back of this. There, the back of that deer. And that one as well. Looks like there's a rock or something behind it. And I don't know if it is a rock or if it's something else. Can't tell. It's quite splashy on that one. I really want to find that bit. Where's the bit? Ah! Oh, stop it. Stop it. Is that bit? No. I think I just found that bit. Now I've lost it. There we go. It's there. Big as there. Now as I said, I did pull out some splashy bits where I could see that there was flamingo on the piece. Like that. Or that. There's one. Uh, ah, that one goes there. So I'm kind of starting with the legs here. Mm. That's the way it's going so far. Ah, there we go. Bit more of the body in place there. There's that one. These ones are a super bright pink. Not even sure if that's. Oh no, that's a dragonfly. That is a pink dragonfly. So that should technically. Well, I mean, it could stay in the water pieces, but it's not a flamingo. So I'll stick it back in there. Uh, about that one. Yes. And then the heads are very thin and curly. So we've got the start of a head, like a neck and a head situation here. So can I find that? Like there? Don't know. I don't know. That bit's annoying me. I really want to find it. Ugh. Ha. Okay, well, I found that. Ha. It's coming along. It's coming along, folks. So there are two with their heads kind of together in like a heart shape as well. If you look there, they are further over to the right. I'll pop them up there for now because my board's kind of covering that bit. I just seem to be focused at the moment on these two behind these animals. And then there's a third behind this one. I'm wondering why I can't really see those. I think that might belong to these two. Uh, or maybe not. Uh, there we go. So they're coming together just gradually. No. Uh, there. It's really easy to get the necks upside down. See, now we can see the start of that one in the background. Um, it's a slightly darker shade as well. There it is. Yay! Oh, goodness me, that's the tail attached, or at least that bit of it. Thank goodness. um, then we've got there's green behind that. It's like a mossy rock, but I can't see which one it belongs to. Oh, it's further up. It's further up. Probably on the same board as that butterfly. Right. Okay, so then now there's one over here behind this cat. And well, those two go over here. Ah, those two are sort of up there. Um, goes there. That looks like it belongs to that. Yay! Oh, thank goodness. Okay, the tails are attached now. Woohoo! Oh, I'm so relieved about that. This is one of the things I hate about the wavies. It's all well and good having, a varied shape going on. But gosh, the wavies, just when you can't attach them and they just end up getting shifted about all the time, can get a bit frustrating. Right, that goes there. There's that lily pad I was looking for earlier. Have I got that bit? Yes, I have. And I've got that bit too. And I've got that bit too. Yes. That goes on that other board. In fact, that goes with that. And that goes with this one. This one's got a really dark body. There. I think it goes there. Oh, I'm pleased with how this is coming together. This is coming together nicely. I wasn't sure if it was going to be a bit chaotic and slow, but I guess the organising helps. Where are you? That one's frustrating me. Well, that one? Yes, that's that one. So then this one needs a head. And there's some neck. And some more neck. Where's its head? Where's its head? Got a headless flamingo going on. Where is it? Ugh, can't see it. Can't see it. Oh well. Not to worry. I'm sure it'll get found eventually. Right, so now then, there you can see the reflection of the legs in the water. Um, of this flamingo here. A bit more of the reflection. I don't know how much. Ah, there we go. So that's where that goes. So now, if I can find that and attach those, there. Mm. That's that one attached now to the cat. Um, then I can just see a bit of the leg of that one. So now I might stand a chance of actually attaching that one. I don't know. Too many legs. Oh, wait. No, that's that one. Go there? No. Does that go there? Yes, it does. There we go. So that one's coming together, but it needs his legs. Where's his legs? Right. I think that's there. Right. Ah. Okay. Let's get that attached. No. No. Ugh. Alright, I felt sure that went there, but apparently not. Oh, there. There's another. There's another one. There, yeah, that one. There's one here as well that I haven't really got together yet. That must be this. There. Mm. Seem to have an endless amount of flamingos. Flamingo there? Yes, it does, and that attaches that. That also attaches that. Now then, there is the back of this one, I think. That is. There, that's that one. It's coming! It's coming! Oops! Right, I think that floats there. We've got a lily pad there. Maybe I could find that. I found that lily pad. Where's that lily pad? Come on, where are you? No, I'm not seeing it. Hmm. It's frustrating when you know you should have it, but you don't. Um, so then what do you do? There we go. That looks like a tail maybe, but that could be one that's flying. There is one that's flying in front of the water. So that is throwing me a little. But I should be able to figure this out from here. I mean, this is coming along nicely. So I'll keep plugging away. I think I need to check the box and just see what more I'm looking for. There's another one there. Where does that one go? Oh, and that's got one behind it. Oh, wait, that goes on the other board. Okay, I've got a growing stack of pieces for the other board there. Um, that's the flying one. So that goes up there. Wait, I don't know. I think that might go on the other board too. This one's worrying me. I still have a headless flamingo here. Can't have headless flamingos. That goes, that goes in there. Hmm. What about that one? No. There. Okay, so that attaches that. That's good. And we've got a wavy there. Oh, wait a minute. Is that? Oh, that might actually belong to another bird. Different bird. Oh no, it's the flying one. Right. It's the flying one. That looks like a flying one. That goes there. There we go. Let's have a look. Let's pause and have a wee look. There we go. Now this is a bit of a mess. Sorry, these are my lily pad ones. Um, and they're my darker blue ones left over. I'll have to tidy them up a bit. That goes down there. I might actually have that bit. Where's that bit? There. Um, I'm not sure where that goes. Where's that go? There. Right. They belong on the top, one of the top boards. I think it might be top right, top left, sorry. They're my lily pad ones. I've not got many of those in. They're what remains of my sort of dark bluish coloured ones. They're my waterfalls. They're my ones I'm probably shouldn't have got out yet. They belong on the bottom right board. I'm just tidying up so you've got an idea of kind of what's together. So that has come together really nicely. That's the wee cat that's sitting. And in fact, now then, is there any way I can join that? Maybe I can join that. Let's move these. Let's move these out the way. Go in there. Maybe. There. That goes there. Where do I put them? Right, I'm going to put them on this board with the flamingo pieces. So I've not got that many of them now. Um, so this flamingo here is about level with this flamingo here. So I think there's only one piece that needs to join them there. Maybe I can find it. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, I think I've. Oh, wait, this one has a head. Yes! Yeah, it's got a head. Ooh, I'm sure it's relieved. Right, there. It's the tiniest bit of flamingo on the piece, though. And I may not have pulled it out. Let's see. No, that's not it. That goes there. I don't think I've got it out. Ah! Oh, that's frustrating. Um, hmm. I might have to find it. Wait a minute, because it's likely to be in the water pieces, and it's relatively dark, that bit. Right. Possible it's in there. Right, I'll stop and have a chat with you in a wee second. I just want to find that piece so I can attach it, because it's a little frustrating. Like, I prefer to have bits attached. Hoping you know what I mean. Right, so I'm looking for this bit. There'll be a little bit of flamingo on one side. Oh, that's a bit of a lion there, I think. There. Okay, getting sidetracked. Oh, look, there's a bit of that tail. Continuing to get sidetracked. Um, hmm, flamingo piece. Right, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There's not that many pieces left in here. Is that another bit? Yeah, another bit of that. Of course, you find all the bits you're not looking for when you're looking for something else. Um, I can't spot it. Where are you? You'll be in here somewhere. You're either water or flamingo. You're not going to be anywhere else unless you've been missorted. So where are you? No, that's not it. Well, that does look like flamingo to me. Oh no, it's not. It's that. For the cat! Stop giving me cat pieces! It's typical, isn't it? Oh, I can't see it. Unless I've got it out and I've just glossed over it. Wait. Oh, no, that's that bit. Well, at least it had flamingo on it. Hmm. Darn. I can't see it. I was really hoping to find it, and I can't see it. And I don't think I've got it up there, and I don't think I have it on here. Do I? I did have it on there. Yay! Sorry. After all that, it's on there. Oh, that's so typical. There we go. Right. Okay. Not going crazy yet. That goes there. That goes in there. Really should have that. I don't know quite where this cat's face is, but I've obviously missed it somewhere in the sorting process. Right, and there are other ones that are a bit more background. Um, like, I mean, I think I've got pretty much all the foreground ones. And that one, I think, might go up there on the other board. And that's one of those ones up at the top. There, one of those ones up at the top. And so is that. In fact, that attaches there. So they belong on a different board. But you know, they're still flamingos, so I can put them together. Oh, that goes with that. That goes with that. Right. So that goes there. Mm. And I mean, I could put the flying one together, although I've largely kept those separate. There, that's the flying one. That belongs with that one. Mm, and that's its legs going out behind him. So that's the flying one. That's its wing. There's that one. That goes up there. Goes up there. I mean, at least we're getting them together. So that's good. I'm not sure where that one's supposed to go. There are a couple of other birds that aren't flamingos that have long pink legs. Um, right, that's that one that belongs up there. So sometimes that throws me a bit. Does that go there? No, that goes there. I'm not even certain that's a flamingo. Um, that goes there. And that one goes there. Well, that was good. They're my lily pad pieces. There's a couple of water pieces there. I'll plonk them there. Um, I'll keep them handy because I want the lily pads out. There. That's pretty good going, isn't it? And then all these belong on one of the upper boards. These flamingos here. There are more flamingo pieces, the ones that are flying, so I might find more to fill this one out. But this one is actually flying in front of the waterfall. That might be top middle board, actually. It'd be around about here. I'll show you. Um, so that I've started putting together there is this one here. And it's just above all these that I've put together, but I don't know if it's, some of it might be bottom board. In fact, it might even belong here, over here. It's really hard to tell sometimes when they're kind of in the middle. It's hard to tell which board they would belong on. But it's entirely possible that that might go sort of somewhere up there. There. So I could try and put a few more of those together. These, that one is that one there. And those two are these two here, which go just above this gorilla's head. So they would be on the top left board. That one, where's that one? Oh, that one is this one here. So that would be top left board as well. So, yeah. I don't think that's bad going. I think that's pretty good. Let's have a chat. I'm gonna have a drink too. Hi, Brian. How you doing? That would definitely be a change in climate. Not sure I could handle the Phoenix heat. Ooh, who's changing climate? It's quite extreme to move from the cold north to the desert. It does sound extreme. I went to Coles on Saturday. I don't know what Coles is. What do they sell? Hmm. Oh, is it a shop? Karen, the heat might be bad, but I would love having 300 days of sunshine. You prefer the sun to the cold, Clark. I agree, Karen. Snow over heat any day. There's a beauty shop named Sephora. Yes, I've heard of that. My daughter went in there when we first went to America. She sought out a Sephora shop. I don't know if we have Sephoras, or if we do, we certainly don't have them in Sterling. I'm like a kid every time it snows. I know, well, yeah, I kind of am, only if it sticks. If it's just a flurry that just then disappears straight away, it's like, tuned in late and you were looking for flamingo already. I was looking at that one, but figured you must have checked those already. Yeah, I'm on the flamingos now, Helen. How are you, by the way? Have to get my breakfast. Have fun with your puzzle. Oh, thank you, Brian. Enjoy your breakfast. Are these flamingo legs that you are putting in? It must be. Yeah, most of them are. There are one or two other birds with long pink legs, like this one, for example. And this one's got a long pink beak as well. And then there's a couple of wading birds sort of up here, but they're just white. They're not flamingos, but they've got long pink legs as well. So, hmm, Brian, it appears Vicky is having too much fun puzzling to read the chat. I know. We went off for one a bit there, didn't I? But still, I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased with how it's coming along. It's really coming along nicely. I hope you agree. Hmm. I think that goes up there somewhere, but can't fit it in. So I think the time has come to put these in on the other board, the bottom right board. Clark, I live in Phoenix. The summers are brutal. Great winters, except the traffic is bad due to snowbirds. Snowbirds? What's a snowbird? It's kind of weird to think about extreme weather for me here. It because it's just so temperate in Scotland. It's just, kind of average, whatever. Like, you don't get extremes really much. And even if it's mildly extreme, um, we all tend to kind of wither. Like, oh my lord, I've never known it so bad. Winter visitors. Ah, what do they do? Just block the roads? Sounds kind of crazy. Snowbirds are people, mostly retirees, that go south to avoid the cold during the winter. Oh, I see. Okay, that makes more sense. A mental image of birds just sitting in the road blocking traffic. I get you. Population goes way up during the winter. Oh, okay. -4 degrees, frosty here today. Actually, we've not had super, super cold. It's 7 degrees here. 7 degrees according to my watch. Northern people who live in warm climates in the winter. Ah, okay. I've got you. I quite like my mental image. It's making me it's comical. Oh dear. All right. Spent 2 to 3 days in Arizona on honeymoon. Ah, it was late January. I wore a vest top. Oh, okay. That's where you went on your honeymoon. Gosh. Yeah. Well, when I went to California in when did I go? July, and that was yeah, that was swelteringly hot. In fact, Jasper really he couldn't handle it. Going to the Disney parks during the day, he was like, I can't take the heat. It was yeah, it was pretty intense for us Brits. Best time to visit here, November through March. Right. For like so that it's actually bearable. The weather, you mean? Gosh, I'd love to. I'd love to visit all the bits of America. Right. Okay. So let us move on. I'm just going to move my iPad for a second. Pull this board in, and we're back to the bottom right hexant. So, um, here there's a couple of flamingos. So let's see if we can put them in. What that is, a crumb or something on my board. Um, so there's its leg and there's its body, and there's one behind it. I think does that go there? Yes, that goes there. And there's a bit of a pink butterfly there, and that completes its head and it goes right above this rhino. That is the bit I had missing from this flamingo. This one now has a head, thankfully. Then I've got what I assume are pieces that belong over here. Ah, that actually goes there. That's a part of that bird's wing. I thought it was maybe one of these birds here. There's a couple of birds over on this side. That you can just see. And then these look like elephant's legs. There's one. There's another one. No, that's up there. Well, that might actually go down here. Does it? No, it doesn't. Where's that bit then? Ah, not sure about that bit. And then let's just see if any of these belong over here. Ah, oh no. Darn it, I thought that went there. Thought that was maybe a bit of tusk or something, but it's not. These aren't really the right colours. What about that? No. No, they don't belong with the elephants. So, I mean, there might be a few. Let's have a look and see if I can get any of the lily pad ones in. I'm just going to pop this back over there. Pop those on my. Where's my leftovers board? There. Ah. And then these are my lily pad pieces. There's still a few with lily pads um, over on this board. Like that, for example. Now then, where did I spot that? That just. Oh no, it's not. That goes here. That goes here. I'm just thinking rhinos are on this board. They're not. Not all of them. Some of the rhinos are on this board. So let's see what I can find over here. That one. There's one there. Well, it's good to fill the gaps in. There. Well, there we've got the legs of some. It's like a reflection of the legs of these giraffe, I think. That's the back of that elephant. I don't know if that was that there. Not sure about that one. Hmm. I mean, there's pink in that piece. That might be a little bit of flamingo, but I don't think it goes up here. Oh, that goes there. Throwing them about. Um, ah, there. That goes there. And there's some. Oh, okay, right. So I've actually got a bit that belongs on here, over on this board. Let me pull it over. Here we go. I think the reason for that is just that it didn't attach over here, but it does now. No. I mean, it's still floating, but at least I've got them in the right spot. That goes there. Does that go there? Yes. I thought that had something to do with the alligator. It's like a reflection. That looks like a bit of elephant. That could be rhino. Hippo, sorry. Goodness me, I don't know my hippos from my rhinos. That goes over here somewhere, I'm determined. Doesn't it? Please go in here. Does that belong to that bird? I don't know. Okay, alright. Well, there might well be more that goes in here. Because these are very sort of light green, these pieces, and that's what makes me think they go over here. So it's good to fill in some gaps on this one because it's probably the most filled out hexant so far. So it's good to just keep filling those in. But I seem to have still quite a lot of the elephant missing. I'm wondering if they've ended up with the greens and I've just not pulled them out. Um, does that go? No, I don't know. All right, that's fine. I don't want to. I don't want to labour over it if I'm slowing down. It's filled in a few gaps there anyway. So that's looking good, that bit. Um, this bit, I think, which is the top of the elephant's head there, I think actually goes on the bit above. But I've just kept it on here for now. Yeah, because the top half of the puzzle isn't particularly filled out. So I'm wondering about maybe going like trying to put together the rest of these flamingo pieces. Because there's some quite big flamingos flying. Got a bunch here. And then I can I don't know, possibly fill in some more water pieces. What time are we on? It's just after 2. So I've been going, what, an hour and a half? So yeah, I'll keep going. I'll keep going. Mm, I'm just pulling them out. Been a bit slow, slow fingers. I'll pop them on this board because there's not that many on this board. There. Excuse me. You hate humidity. Yeah, humidity's not fun, is it? Mm. There's a reason that Arizona has a few massive aircraft storage areas. Is that that Phoenix is too far the other way, too dry? So what's the happy medium area then? I was 4 months pregnant, so by the time we add it to the Grand Canyon, I was on the verge of fainting. Oh gosh, I bet. I bet. That sounds amazing though. Love to see the Grand Canyon. Bad place to lose your balance. Oh, definitely. Yeah. I agree. Your weather the last few years has been brutal. I grew up in the humidity, so it doesn't bother me. Just for the record, unlike Phoenix, the Grand Canyon is in the mountains. I was at the Grand Canyon in March and there was snow. Ah, and I didn't even pack a coat. I've never been to the Grand Canyon. My whole family hiked it right after we moved there. I had no desire to hike it. I only walked slash drove along the top. Didn't hike down into the Grand Canyon. Is it? I assume that's quite a big hike, is it? Is it quite hardcore? Or is it like, is there a very obvious, well used path? I suppose it must get loads of tourists. Can't remember if we did Phoenix. We went from Roswell, NM to Painted Desert, AZ. So NM's New Mexico, right? Painted Desert, Arizona, Grand Canyon, Vegas, and Santa Monica. There's actually buses that you can take along the top of the Grand Canyon. I don't think I'd like to drive one of those. I'd be a passenger. Clark, I hear it's beautiful and the photos were amazing. I wouldn't like being in a car on those roads, much less on a bus. Yeah, are they like just like on the edge of a cliff? Oh, that would make me go dizzy. As I remember, the driving was like going through a mountain forest. You couldn't even see the Grand Canyon from the bus. Oh, okay. Well, that wouldn't be quite as bad. I do think the top row needs some love next stream. The top row. I know. It's all happening at the bottom. The thing is with the top though, is it's super green heavy, super duper green heavy. But I do have some sky pieces that might go together quite nicely around that. What's it called? The orangutan. Now the bottom row's looking really good though. And there's kind of a cluster of animals in the middle, but they're so small because they're all kind of in the background. I'm so reluctant to get the birds and bugs out because they're going to be everywhere, um, all over the place. Like I'll just have loads of bits. It's just one of the things about this puzzle's the bittiness. Like it's nice to actually put chunks together. Mm. Happy medium, anywhere in the northern half of the country or west coast. Right. The Grand Canyon hike is definitely brutal, very steep down slash up, and big drop off if you slip. Ooh, okay, yeah, no, I might pass on that. I might pass on that. I'm not really a hiker. Like I've done some Monroes, and it's fine. I mean, I enjoy the views and everything, but it's not kind of a passion really. Look at that. Dragonflies found a home. I've still got some. There we go. Some flamingo legs. Right. So what was I doing? I've lost track. What was I doing? I think I was going to try and put some of these flamingos together. The other ones and the flying ones. But these flamingos here are actually standing in the area of the water where I've got some dark pieces that I can be filling in. So I'm hopeful that I might be able to fill a couple of gaps. Excuse me. So, this is technically top half of the puzzle, Burgess. Go that way. Yes, it does. That goes there. So I'm wondering if that maybe goes around about there. There's a parrot. You can just see its tail there. I mean, I could do a little bit of sorting, like off-camera sorting, um, using the birds and bugs, but just the ones in front of the waterfall, just as a way of kind of keeping going with the water. Um, does that go there? No, it doesn't. I mean, I would imagine it would be relatively easy to spot and pull out. Ah, there, more of that bird. To spot and pull out bird pieces with water behind. Um, and you can see like grass. There we go. So this is coming together not too bad. That one's sort of standing on its own, so that's a wee bit difficult. Um, but we've certainly got a bit of this coming together, so that's quite nice. That I think actually goes that way. There's a bush at the bottom, but there's also a bush at the top. There, that goes in there. I mean, I don't mind building up islands as long as they're relatively big islands, if you see what I mean. So they're going to go somewhere above the lions up there. But my boards are over there. The top boards are off to the side. Does that? I think that might. Yeah, that is there. So here I'm finding some of this bird again, which is the underneath of its wing is kind of blue. There, its wingtips, which are black. These go down here. I just can't attach them yet, which is a wee bit frustrating. Um, mm, can I find any more lily pads? Maybe. Don't know. That one? Yes, got that one. Um, no. Where does that go? That's very white. And there's a lily pad on it. That's why I thought it might belong to this bird, but I'm not so sure now. I can't see a lily pad next to a white bit. Oh, yeah, I can actually. Yeah, it's the waterfall. It's behind this bird. Um, so let's put those up there. Does that go there? Oh, it goes there. Thought that was waterfall, but it's not. It's the calm water. There we go. I mean, I did deliberately keep them out. I didn't just kind of throw them back in because I sort of thought they might come in handy. There's that one. But that's definitely a parrot there. That's not a flamingo. So here's my other flamingo pieces. So there's wait a minute. Well, that's a bee. That's one of the other birds. See, there's one, and then there's one next to it. There, they're sort of facing each other, but they're not flamingos. That one's coming together quite nicely. There's quite a few others. Oh, now then, there's that one standing on its own. Oh no, I thought that maybe went there, but it doesn't. It doesn't. All right. Okay. Let's see what I can get together on here, if I can, if any. As I say, when they're a bit smaller, I actually find it harder to put them together. Um, Wait, definitely got you. There you go. There you go. And there's another one. So that one's way up in the trees. That's above the orangutan. That one. There's one of those. Uh, Wait. Ah, where's that one? It's kind of flying up. Oh, okay. That one's in the middle. It's in front of a giraffe. That one. Hmm. I'm gonna have to try and figure out where these go in the puzzle at some point. At the minute, they're all just a bit haphazard, spread out on my board. There, you can actually see a bit of the giraffe there, so that'll probably attach to one of the giraffe sections that I've built. There's another one. That's a bit more background. Again, goes in the top middle. A lot of these flying ones go in the top middle. I don't think that's even flamingo. I think that's bald eagle. Not really sure how it ended up in here. That goes behind those giraffes, and you can actually see a little bit of that panther. Um, so the giraffes are surrounded by flamingos. Do I have there? That's the one that's behind the giraffe. I don't think that's flamingo at all. Right. That's a very dark piece of wing. I think it goes there. But you can just see a bit of pink on the edge. Not sure where that one goes. That goes there. So I've got. This is what I mean about the birds and bugs. They're just so bitty. There's no other word for it. They're so bitty. Right, where does that go? Don't know. Where do you go? There. That attaches that. It's there. At least I'm getting some together though. I'm not sure about that one, where that one goes. Have I got any more that attaches to this? I don't know, that might go up there, maybe. Oh, where's that one? Oh, okay. That's behind. That's that one. Oh, right. I don't think I quite expected to get these ones together. Think, does that go up there? Not sure. I'm not. Ah, that goes there. That's its legs. Lots of flamingo legs going on. No, don't know where that one goes. And that one. Come on, you've got to have a head. Thought that was thought that was a head for a minute. It's not, it's feet. It almost got feet for a head. I can't see a head for that one either. So, yes, that's unfortunate. That one doesn't have a head yet. Um, there could well be pieces of flamingo near those giraffes. Because these attach to the giraffes. So we'll put them on. Um, I'm going to leave those there. They're water pieces. Not quite sure what to do with those yet. Um, I mean, I could get the other boards involved. Give me 1 second. I need to put my iPad down. So I've got. I mean, I keep them handy just in case. You've seen that one today. That's top right, so I'm not going to be putting anything in there. That's top middle. So here is where those flamingos go. These ones. Um, these ones. So that one here, it fell off, attaches here. There. That's just the top edge. Um, then here there's the back of this panther, and there's a flamingo there. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have that bit. Probably it's still in with the greens, maybe. And then this one. Now then, hang on. So it's got that one, it's got that one. I think. Oh gosh, now I can't tell. I think that might. Hang on. I'm a bit bamboozled by that one. Oh no, that's there. So that's further up. There is another background one there though. Just right near this one. Here. There it is. Okay, that's good. At least they attached to something. And then these, right, hang on. Let's get the other board. Flamingos seem to like hanging around with the zebra. So there is the zebra with the background hippo that I mentioned. There's some apes there. That's that lemur that I showed you earlier, um, from the big puzzle. That's it. So there is that rhino, and that, um, where is it? It's not that one. There's another big one right behind it. There. Is that it? That's it. Except I can't really see its wings. Don't seem to have its wings. Oh, I do. There, it's that one. But I don't have that piece. I don't know where that piece is. So there's another one attached to an actual bit. And then there's another one here behind the zebra. I'm not sure where I put that. I've lost my flamingos, folks. It's, is it that one? No, it's not that one. It's that one. That one there. Goes there and attaches, and that fits in there. So we've got two attached there on the top left board. We've got three attached here on the top middle board. So the top row is getting a bit of love, Bergdis, a wee bit. And then that one's further up, so I can't attach it, but it goes on this board. And then that big one is above, it's on here. I'm not sure if it'll maybe even attach to the top actually. Let's see. That big one goes here-ish. I don't think I can attach it yet, but it goes around there. That big one. Not sure where they go quite yet. So they're at least where they belong on that board and on that top left board. The top right board, there's kind of nothing. No flamingos on that. That's the top right board. It's the least done board, the top right. So they've all got a home. So now I'm wondering about maybe just trying to fill in the water, some more of the water, if I can. I've got they're my water pieces that I've got left. I could possibly try and fill in a few gaps. There's some orange flower, for example. That attaches there. There's a butterfly. That goes in there. So how about I spend the last few minutes just trying to fill in a few gaps with these. I don't know if I'll get all the water done, but I can give it a go, can't I? sure where they go. And there, I've got some lily pad ones on there. They're leftovers. I'm going to just put those with the leftovers so I don't confuse myself. Wait a minute. Right. Have I got this cat's face? Sorry, I've gone off on a tangent here and just not realised. I don't know how I've missed this cat's face. How have I missed it? I don't think I have. Oh, well, well. Like that. I'm sure I saw that earlier. There we go. That fills in that gap. Some of these textures might be not too bad to spot. Um, they technically, I think, belong on one of the boards above. Right, let's have a wee chat first. Luckily, the big one is super easy to find. I love wildlife puzzles. Me too, Sue. Me too. I really do like them a lot. As far as I can tell, Vicky is the first person on YouTube to finish the 33,600 version of Wildlife. So, when I first started Wildlife, I did I did have a little hunt on YouTube. And all I could find was there was someone who put a series of videos up. I don't know if they're still up. And they did it super methodically. They literally used like a computer program to figure out, like, they figured out the pattern, the cut pattern, because it's in 8 sections, repeat sections. They went through it bag by bag. They found the pieces, figured out where they went according to their program thing, and it's like they built it using like a program essentially. It was the weirdest thing. Well, I don't want to say weird. It's to and they go through it quickly doing it that way, which I understand. I don't want to say it's weird, but for me, I don't think that sounds very fun. Like, it's super strategic. But that was on YouTube back when I first was gonna build this puzzle. And I was looking to see if anyone else had done it. And that one, I'm sure they had their bags. They must have had an older print of the puzzle because their bags went in reverse order, numerically. It went from the highest number to the lowest number from left to right. That's how it went. And I assumed that's how mine was going to be. Because this is one of the things I was trying to work out. And of course mine ended up being completely different. And it was all over the place. But I think I maybe had a later print run of it than they did. But it was I've never seen a puzzle built. I mean, I've seen people use cut pattern to help with difficult bits of a puzzle, and that I totally get. I've done that myself. They literally worked it out from more or less the get go, and they just blitzed through all the other sections doing it that way. I couldn't actually. I was like, this is crazy. Hmm. It could be that they're not there anymore, Clark. I like they're quite old. I think they're quite old videos. I'll have to see if I can find them. In fact, I'm not sure if I might not have linked them in one of my descriptions, one of my early video descriptions. You could have a look and see maybe if I did. I can't remember, but if not, I'll have a look afterwards and see because I'm only just remembering this now. Now we're having this conversation. Hmm. So anyway, there was that one, and I found one other. and it was a time lapse. It was a stop motion of wildlife coming together, and it's the most one of the most incredible stop motions I've ever seen. And again, it old, so I don't know if it's still on YouTube, but it was like you know the game Space Invaders. It was like Space Invaders animation and stuff. But it was the wildlife puzzle coming together. It was great. It was crazy good. It must have taken them ages to do. I honestly, my mind shies away from how long that must have taken them to do and how much work they must have put into that. That's the only other one I've seen. Oh, and Andre F. The guy Andre F. who builds he time lapses it the whole thing. Um, I'm not sure if he mix. I don't. Does he mix? So he does it on his floor, and he does large piece counts because he's also done the 42K. But there's one where he just lays them out in separate piles and just builds them and doesn't mix them up. And there's another one where he does mix it up and he builds it. And I can't remember which is which. I don't think he mixed this one. I think he may have just put the piles out of this one. So that's it. That's all I can think of. Andre F, who just does a time lapse. That person who did the crazy stop motion one, and the one where they basically create a computer program and they build a big grid and they know what shape goes in what spot, and that's how they build it. But as I say, quite old, so I don't know. I don't know if they're still up. But yeah, no, it's not. It's not up on YouTube much as compared to say something like Life, which you do see a lot of. That's part of the reason I went for it because I felt like it wasn't as known about, and I mean I loved it obviously, so that was mostly the reason. But I also quite liked the idea of doing something that not many other YouTubers had done. So I do. I kind of feel like I have a wee bit trailblazed on this one as far as YouTube goes. I don't think it's as popular as Life. Or, I mean, I could maybe say I don't necessarily think it's even as popular as Around the World. Oh, it's so, I mean, it's well worth it. It's so stunning. It's so lovely. But yeah, I'll look those out, Clark, and see if I can find them. You'd start with one of the easier sections in the middle of this one. I love this puzzle, but surely not ready for 33k piece count yet. Well, the section sizes are a bit more manageable in this. I'll give it that. 3,360 is not bad. But they're a funny shape because they're long, they're tall and thin. Um, but the far left section one, but still most difficult out of all of them. The rest were fine. The rest were fine. And yes, I the middle one of the middle sections is probably better to go for, Clark, if you're going to ease your way in. But I mean, there's a lot of green in all the sections, so I'll see how I do with Magical Bookcase as far as handling larger piece counts. Yeah, oh, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Colin Thompson's so fun. But I wouldn't call them easy, but they're so fun. Only going up to 3k this year. Want to do some 10Ks in 2026. So 10,000 piece puzzles. Which ones? Sue, just for the record, the bags in Magical Bookcase are 4,500 versus 3,000 for the big wildlife. Yeah, yeah. So section wise, you're talking smaller. Have a great day slash evening. Gotta run. Don't forget to hit like. Thank you, Sonia. I'll see you later. You can do anything you want, of course. Of course you can. Like all. Thank you so much. Of course you can. Like, honestly, I mean, that was their preference. I'm not going to judge them for doing it that way. But for me, that would suck all the fun out of doing a puzzle. personally. If I used a computer to figure out what shaped piece went exactly where, and then piled up the shapes in the grid. I don't know. I don't. I'm not technically minded either. So it's just something I can't even really imagine myself even thinking about. Yes, Clark, but 10 of them. Well, yes, this is true. There are 10. Take you a while. I'm going to watch this when it's over. I hit the tail end. Hello. Hi. How you doing, Lisa? You hit the tail end. Yeah, well, it's early for you, isn't it? Goodness me. On social media somewhere, I recently saw someone who moved to a new house and put the big wildlife on their huge wall. Yeah, I saw a post where somebody put wildlife on the wall. There's a page, I think it's a page on Facebook, and I see these posts go up on it. I don't follow it, but they come up on my feed, and I see these posts, and they never, or hardly ever, have the name of a poster. Like that, they don't. There is no. They're all different puzzles and all different puzzlers, but they're on this page, and very occasionally it will say credit and it will give a name, and the vast majority of the time it doesn't tell you who's posted it. And I remember once it was Ashley, I think. Ashley's puzzled, who's one of the members. She's not here at the moment, but she said one of her posts just got put on this particular page, and she doesn't know who put it there or why, but it was hers. And I'm a bit, and then on that, if it's the one I'm thinking of, Sybil, um, there was that on that particular one where a guy had he was in an apartment or something, and he had like a 19-foot wall, and he'd put it up on the wall, and it looked awesome, and there was a picture and everything. But somebody commented and said they'd seen that post 3 years ago on Reddit. So I'm always a little bit wary with that page because I feel like they just take other people's posts and put them up. And then a bunch of people comment asking questions, but I feel like the person who did it can't answer them because they don't necessarily know their post has been put up. I don't know. I'm just always a bit wary as when there's no credit and for whose photo it is. And I keep wondering if one of mine's going to end up on there. But I did see the picture you meant, and it did look awesome. I wouldn't even know where to start putting a giant puzzle like wildlife on the wall. I really wouldn't. I would have to really research that and look into it. There's one or two videos I've seen on YouTube of people wall mounting wildlife. There was one person that I don't know if they taped it or glued it or something, and they attached like long bits of ribbon to the back, and then they hung it just section by section next to each other. It was quite high up. It was like along the side of a staircase type thing, like a second level. I don't know. It's hard to describe, but anyway, there's some interesting ways that people do wall mount them, and I would have loved to have known how that person on Facebook wall mounted his. But I don't think the question would have got answered, so I don't bother commenting. Um, meant 10 something thousand. Oh, I see what you mean. Right, okay, I've got you. Sorry, got you. Yeah, because you got your 13K, haven't you? Got that one to do. We should have a Christmas or New Year's party where Vicky gets to chat without puzzling. Could do that. I'll pull Christmas crackers. Vicky, what's the largest you have hanging on your wall? 6,000. So that's entering the bedroom. Um, that's the largest I've got on my wall, and that was the first puzzle I ever. Well, technically not the first puzzle I ever glued. I did a video where I glued puzzles, and it was the first time I'd ever glued puzzles. And I wanted to glue and wall mount um one of my 6Ks, and I wanted to glue and wall mount Magical Dragon Forest, which is 9K. And I was, where I've got the 6K in my lounge, I was going to put the Magical Dragon Forest there, and then, and it would have fit there, but I think it would have been too big for that particular area. It just would have looked too cramped in. So I decided to put Enter in the Bedroom there instead, and I decided to go with a smaller large piece count to start with. But I didn't want to glue one of my large piece counts without testing it first. So I glued two of my Ravensburger challenge puzzles. I glued Mario, which is on the wall up there. You'll see it at the background of my videos. I glued my 1000 piece Mario challenge puzzle by Ravensburger, and I glued um Pac-Man, the Pac-Man challenge puzzle by Ravensburger, and that's in my album. Um, and I used different methods. I used a brush, and I tried using a wee card scraper thing, and I tried different methods to see which one would work the best. And then after I'd successfully glued those, I glued Enter in the Bedroom. And what I did was I used Russell, Puzzling in Two Worlds, Russell. He wall mounted Enter in the Bedroom by gluing it onto a board, a piece of wood. And he made a frame and everything and put it round it, and I wanted to do something similar to that, so I enlisted the help of my friend Frank. And we didn't make a frame, but he got bored and he had it cut for me, and I glued it on. And he'd made it up so that there was like a wood frame on the back, and then he attached a piece of wood to the wall, and he basically, it hangs on that piece of wood, and he just put some screws in the top. So it's sturdy on the wall, but it's basically glued on a big piece of wood. And that's also what we're probably going to do for the 9K, because I was discussing with him about the 9K as well, which I think now is going to go in the hallway. But we just haven't got around to doing that yet. But I don't think you can get one single piece of wood big enough to do the 9K. So he's going to attach two pieces together, and I'll put it up the same way as I did with Enter in the Bedroom. But at the moment, 6K is the biggest I've got on the wall. It was really fun actually making that video, and it was really fun. See, when I first saw Enter in the Bedroom on the wall, I was gobsmacked. I literally just stood there and looked at it like, that looks so awesome. And it's red in the background because my lounge is red, dark red. It looks so great against that colour. It was just the perfect puzzle to put there. I was so happy with it. It looks brilliant. Even if I do say so myself, it looks brilliant. So, and I would love to do, I don't have a wall in here that I could put wildlife on, but eventually I would like to live somewhere where I can, even if it goes around a corner. Um, just don't know how. Don't know how I'd do it. The Facebook one is the wildlife one. Yeah, there's something weird about that. I don't know if it's a group or a page. There's something weird. There's something off about it. So I tend to just look and I don't interact. Because I would have loved to have asked the same question, but I'm not even certain that person knows that their post is up there. So, which is a shame, really, because loads of people comment. I have that on my to-do list. Oh, the Enter in the Bedroom. Perfect puzzle for wall mounting. Yeah, it looks so good. It looks so good. And I loved that one as well. I do. I really do love wildlife puzzles. I really do. I like them a lot. They're just brilliant. They're just brilliant. Now then, I'm not going to get a lot of these water pieces in, am I? Because I've been chatting away. But I like to stop and chat sometimes. I've kind of adopted that way with my live streams where I puzzle a bit, chat a bit, puzzle a bit, chat a bit. Um, so yeah, that's what I do. Mm. And I'm thinking these are all kind of waterfally sort of pieces. So I'm thinking they'll go in fine. Um, without too much hassle, I don't think, but it's just there's several waterfalls, so it's quite hard to tell what goes where. And in some cases, the water's flowing a certain way, so you can use the lines to maybe help. That's a lily pad piece. That is that a rock or is that might be might go in here. No, it's a hippo. Yay! Mm. So yeah, I mean next year I might have to make that a goal next year to warm out my magical dragon forest. And it's not gonna be very well lit in my hallway. It's the only other place that I could put a large puzzle. Um but I want it on the wall. Maybe if I can alter my lighting a bit or something in the hall, then it might get a little bit more um showcasing if you like, but I would love to have that on my wall. Bigger than that though, and I'm a bit stumped. I'm not entirely sure quite how I'd get them up. Um, that looks like it goes in there, but again, I can't see where it goes. Ah, that goes there. There's some mossy rocks and stuff in amongst all these little waterfalls, so it may well be that I'll have to do a bit more shuffling amongst other pieces to try and find bits relevant to this part of the puzzle. Um, Possibly. Ah, that goes there. Filled a couple of gaps anyway. Filled a couple of gaps. Um, Now then, it looks like it goes over here. Does it? Maybe not. Oh, touches to that. I'm just not sure where it fits in yet. But that's okay. That's okay. Do you know what? I think I'm going to put all these water pieces back in here. I've got some bird's wings there. Or actually, that might be the body of a bird. That one. I think that is the tip of this bird's wing. But what I might do is just continue with the water theme. Try and fill out these waterfalls. Um, and then sort of gradually move up to the top left hexant, which I think is going to involve there's waterfalls, but I think it's going to involve pulling out some pieces from my birds and bugs pile to find these bright parrot these birds that are flying in front of it. And then what I've essentially done is moved along, dealt with some water and stuff here, and then gone up and dealt with that water there. But if I can have a wee dive into some of the green pieces, perhaps, to fill in a few gaps where these mossy rocks are, and if I can dive into the birds and bugs and find maybe some of these parrots, we could maybe get some filled out in this particular hexant here. And then, I mean, I'm hitting more and more vague kind of sorting categories then. We're looking at birds and bugs, which are literally all over the place. Flowers, pink flowers, sky, probably be doing that kind of thing, and then it'll be all the rest. So Similar, really, to the way I go about doing the big one, just on a smaller scale. But it's definitely filling out. I've made good progress this week, I think, and I can continue with this water and move just sort of along and up and follow that method. I think that's going to be the way forward. But I've got a few flamingos done as well, so that's good. Few gaps filled on the bottom right. I'm just going to put these back. Um, it may be that I might possibly, I don't know. I feel like I've got too many to shape sort at this point, so maybe not shape sort, but yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. That goes there. That doesn't. It goes there. I know it went round there somewhere. So there we go. Put these as well. Ooh, water pieces everywhere. So there we go. Voila! It's quite a lot done today, I think. Very pleased with that. Are you planning to do a premiere for your new wildlife video? Any hints on when it might happen? Yes, I do want to. Um, as soon as possible is the answer to that. I am honestly racing to try and get that done. I don't want to rush it, but I wanted to get it out Sunday. I ran out of time. Um, then I went to Glasgow with my kids, and then tonight I've got dancing, and then there's just so much going on. And I'm behind because I've been feeling a bit ill. So I'm desperate to get it out, Clock. I really am. I really want to show you. And this week is about the only information I can give you, but I do want to do a premiere, and I will of course let you know as soon as I've done it. But I've just got to finish editing it. I've just got to finish editing it. I've done the intro, um, and I'm past halfway through it. I'm on the green pieces now because I kind of go through it section by section. And I'm on the green pieces, so I'm near the end of it, of the build bit of it all, and then I've got to stick an outro on it. But I'm so very close. I'm running out of time. I keep having Christmas parties and for shopping trips. I'm desperate to get it out. Love the puzzle and your progress. Thank you. It is a gorgeous puzzle. So thank you all for being here, and thank you so much for chatting. And I'm really glad that you've enjoyed it. Don't stress. The anticipation is good for us. Yeah, I mean, I try not to stress. I don't like for put the puzzling or the channel to stress me out. I think the main reason I'm getting stressed at the moment is because I've been sick, and it's put me behind by a good week, if or more. And it's frustrating. You kind of need your body to kick into gear and start doing what you want it to do. But it's a playing catch up thing, really. But I'm very close, and I'm so desperate to show you because I'm excited as well. I'm so desperate to show you. Anyway, thank you so much, and I'm really glad that you're enjoying this puzzle. I'm really pleased with progress today. I think it's going really well. So I will try and get a picture of the whole thing together as I've been doing each week and show you where we're at. I think you'll find the bottom is much more filled out than the top, but there's a few flamingos up there now as well, so that's good. And I'll just continue on next week. Continue with the water. So I will see you on Thursday for Home for Christmas, and I will get the wildlife premiere out ASAP. That's as much as I can tell you at the moment, but as soon as is humanly possible. And of course I'll let you know. But thank you again for today, and I will see you all next time. Please like and leave a comment if you've not been in the chat today. And yeah, I hope you all have a lovely day, everyone, and I will see you later. Bye.